You know, as I've gone through life, I've sort of come up with the mantra, the idea, that people really don't want to lie, and people rarely do lie. I think that a lot of the times that people tell the truth as they know it, right? People just say what they know to be true, and that's everything that they can do. With that being said, though, sometimes maybe they only say what they can and or want to, and unfortunately, sometimes maybe they are not necessarily always being truthful.
Kaiju, turtles, Dragon Ball, and more. It's Steven's Toy Reviews.
Hey there, collectors. It's going to be Steven here, and welcome to a discussion, unboxing, little sort of review here. And today we're going to be taking a look at a part of the first wave of Earthworm gem figures from Premium DNA. So like I said, this is going to be just a little bit of a review because you're going to get my first impression of these, but then also, you know, as my duty, if you will, as a content creator, as a reviewer, as somebody who posts information, there's this whole thing about what's called the fourth estate, effectively. And when you get into political terms, it's basically, you have the three estates, the president, Congress. The fourth estate is meant to report back to the people based on what they find in the circle of all the bigger people and not be influenced. So here is what I can show you about today, about something that I found, which I think is pretty interesting surrounding Premium DNA. Many of you know Premium DNA, I'll call it as I see it, and I want to make it very clear here, I don't inherently myself have any ill will with Premium DNA. As a matter of fact, the person on social media did help me with a quality control issue that I had, and they comped me very, very well. So I do thank them for that. So this is coming from a point of neutrality, okay? So with Premium DNA, it goes back to Megalopolis, Toy Overlord Inc. There will be a news article that I will put in the description where if you want to get down to the nitty-gritty for everything, if you would like to get caught up, you could. But essentially, Megalopolis were not able to fulfill orders. People didn't get their orders. Megalopolis crashed. Their website is still up. They sell toys still. Go there if you want to laugh, but please be over 18. Anyway, and Premium DNA spawned from Megalopolis. Who is involved with Premium DNA now? Depends on who you ask, depends on which trail of money you follow, but nevertheless, Premium DNA was intended to be basically an in-house brand that since spun off of Megalopolis, and here we are. So recently, the Earthworm gem figures are supposed to be hitting the market. I think it's Toy Collector, which is supposed to have an exclusive variant of Jim. They're supposed to get theirs this week. I think they should have already had them anyway, but they got hit with the hurricane, so a reasonable delay. But about 6 months ago, they showed, I think what they said were in-hand pictures of Wave 1. So why are we just seeing these now? Well, on their social media pages, Premium DNA had posted, to summarize, you have it in front of you, so please read it word for word, that they were not satisfied with the production pieces and things were not correct. I had actually asked them a follow-up question regarding this because it was well known at that time that, to call it as it is, there were listings on AliExpress and Taobao, Taobao, where the figures were already at and people can order them, and some people were already getting them in hand. And you can see the reply where effectively there were a couple of issues here and there with number 4's eyes and the armor for this one. So the moral of the story is they said they didn't like how the final product came out, so they had it shipped back to the factory at their own expense to have them shipped back for quality control improvement and to fix things, right? So they had said there's no bad quality control infected product, if you will, on the market, and the only way that those sellers got them is because of distribution. Now let's go ahead and open them up. But first, closer look at the boxes here. Let's just go ahead and take a look at Jim's box so you can get an idea of how everything is laid out. You can see the front of the box is a very nice window. We can see the blaster, we can see Snot, we can see the 3 heads that Jim comes with. The back of the box is just going to be the accessory layout where it defines, action shot, lazy Snot, and just Snot. That's pretty cute, I honestly think. Then we do have the credits on the bottom. So if you do happen to take a very close look at who is involved, and you do the back and forth, and you do cross-reference on who's in what employed where, then there you go. We do have the Earthworm Jim worm body and heads pack, where we do get 6 alternate heads, and you can see those through the front window. On the back, they actually have names for them all, which is really cool because you can kind of remember those from different things that Jim would yell out in the game. Fun, funny, haha. There you go. We have Psychro here, which is the other one that I got from Wave 1, and honestly, this is all that I'll have. Psychro, very, very funny pudgy bird. You love to see it. Yeah, he's got the fishbowl for the helmet. I mean, it's not a fishbowl, but you know what I mean. On the back, you can see the accessory layout and all of that fun, good stuff. Now, all of the figures include a slip cover similar to Super 7 here, which, interesting comparison. Yes, so they all include a slip cover. Same slip cover, just different sizes. All right, now we're back to the figures, and with Jim, I actually got this fun little extra order bonus Sunjia brand tape. I mean, it's not really a bonus, but it's funny. Laugh. Anyway, let's go ahead and open these up. So I'll go ahead and I'll open Jim first. You noted that at the beginning, I did a little funny haha thing. I'll talk about that at the end. Because that kind of goes against the information that we have. Okay? It's going to require a bit more. So opening Jim up, again, like I had commented, it looks like the figures match the promo shots, right? And what they said were the in-hand pictures that they showed. Oh, okay. So they're is tape. And again, full transparency. I will even show you, because it will be important for those who may say that they don't necessarily believe, portions of the tracking information that I have, which was delivered by Lasership, for those of you who don't know. So let me just pull Jim's heads out, and we'll take a look at the blaster first real quick. Okay. Here's the blaster. Pretty straightforward, simplistic. Not a lot to write home about. Here's Snot. Really impressive, actually. You're like, Steven, how... Whoa. There you go. How can you say that's impressive? I mean, we do have some paint issues, but, it's fine. Like, I really like this considering, what I paid. This is good. This is great. We'll put guinea pig Snot over there. Here's the one where he's just kind of leeching out of the backpack. I like the eyes. That's really cool. You can see some shading there. That's neat. And then, it would have been cool if like this was a bendy wire or something, even though I hate bendy wires. But c'est la vie, like a grappling hook type Snot. Here are the alternate heads, the faces. See, there's a little blip. I mean, we got a couple of things here and there, but honestly, I would not attribute that to more than just miscellaneous quality control stuff. Like production. Like, this looks fine. Especially considering what I paid. So, I'll keep those heads off to the side. And then the main man himself, which I am hearing had some issues. for those who do happen to have him. Jimothy. The articulation is super smooth, except his bicep there. Of course, I say that, and you know. All right. So here's what the issue seems to be. His suspenders. Or this crossover part. I was worried about that. So from folks who I've spoken with, you know, they've noted to me that these really held up the armor and him moving around and the range of motion because it was too tight. I don't know. But I mean, otherwise, aside from like, okay, this arm is a little stuck. Blast it with heat, it'll be fine. Not breaking anything on camera. Real skinny legs. Yeah, I mean, typical quality that I would expect from like a North American company. It was made in China. Okay, so enough on Jim. I'm going to put him away. We have Psychro here, who I'm going to open up next. The only reason I got Psychro is I didn't really want to go balls deep into Earthworm Jim, which you'll notice that the tape is different. Why am I pointing at the camera? Like you can see what I'm pointing at. Yeah, I didn't want to go balls deep here because retail, you know, it's like 50 to 60 bucks a figure, and that's a lot of money, and these figures are bigger. Takes up a lot of space. The whole wave's going to be like, what is it, $200? I got these 3 for about $70 shipped. So, damn tape. Okay. So I'm not going to be opening up the head accessory pack just because this video is going on a bit longer than I wanted to. But just in my thoughts in and of itself. So we do have the hands, we do have the tail feathers, and we have the extra arms. So let's go ahead and take a look at his gun first. His hook gun. Yeehaw. Right? It's kind of rusted. Neat. Made of a bendable plastic, so that's nice. And the different heads. Gotta love heads. Whoop. So yeah, I will say that I've noticed a few things here and there, like different splotches on the figures, but just doing a quick wipe, they're gone. Ah, cool. And then the oily boy gets the wame. Okay. Oh, nice range of movement on this guy. Woo-wee! And then is this... Oh, that's a ball joint. Nice. This big old fanny pack, though, kind of gets in the way. Leg articulation's kind of bogus. But, you know, we're not dealing with, like, Tamashii Nations here in Majin Buu. Fat Buu, to be exact. So, I'm not really expecting that level here. This tank. This is really cool. This is about what, you know, I expected to just have from their Wave 1. You know, I was excited to see in the promo shot that they had back in June, wink, wink, the end of June, I think it was, of 2022, Queen Slug-For-A-Butt. I think she was in the promo pic. Oh! Right? You know, hopefully we'll get more characters down the line. And, you know, we'll go from there. So, I showed you something in the beginning, right? And I showed you some exchanges that Premium DNA had on social media. particularly with me, right? And so they've also commented and replied to a few other people, more specifically just one interaction that I saw on Twitter. And, you know, I told you what their story was. We'll just actually look at these real quick. I told you what their story was, right? So they had to ship these back. Well, I got mine on AliExpress, right? I told you how much that I paid. And looking here, the quality is just fine, which again, they said there were no duds, there were no bootlegs. I'm interpreting that as no bootlegs. Nothing unofficial on the market. So everything that they have on the market is meant to be legit. Right? And you saw the comment. So this label here. Let's talk about that for a second. Okay, so going through the UKCA label here, we can see the manufacturer information. So it does say what the product name, the applicable age, the product model, the executive standard on it. We have the main materials and the manufacturer. So if you do happen to throw that into Google, you will actually pull up the manufacturing factory there. I am unfortunately not going to try to pronounce that for you. But what you will be able to find is actually them on a few different websites. They do make a variety of things, including some electronic equipment like cables, lights, wiring. They apparently do have an Amazon storefront to some degree as well. I have not tried calling the telephone number that's on there, but nevertheless, it is legitimate and it does clear, as the kids say. Moving on down, we have EVAT Master Consulting GmbH. So if you do take a look at their address, it does come up as one that is legitimate. And if you do go through a quick Google search for them, you're not really going to pull anything up immediately. However, if you use that thinking muscle between your ears, and you'll see that there's a contact email there. If you just go to their website that's there, which is evatmaster.com, you will pull up their website, and you'll see that they are basically a VAT company that is based out of allegedly Germany on the box here, but everything on the website is in Chinese. You will have some reviews for Google reviews, and they note that everything is cheap Chinese product. They have some car purchases. The company is a fraud. Airdrop shipping. Amazon avoid taxes. I'm reading as I'm scrolling through my phone here, so you can look at the reviews. I'm reading directly from there, so you could add allegedly, I suppose, there as well. Now, Goal Reach Consulting Ltd. This one, the only thing that I was able to find is listings. Or our listings. And the main one is going to be through gov.uk, and this is actually going to come back here in just a little bit. So I can't find anything else about Goal Reach Consulting except for their address. For those of you who are not in the, I guess, business space, they are out of what looks like Regis, Manchester, Spinningfields, which the Regis is a big building where you have different offices inside there. And sometimes, at least in my experience in the US, you have different businesses, you have different offices where they basically rent out a space to conduct their business. Sometimes it's legitimate, sometimes it's not. But nevertheless, this appears to maybe be some sort of international management consultee. I don't know exactly, maybe pertaining to distribution. According to the UK government's website, this started in July of 2022, which, anyway, if you were to take a look at the connecting person, it looks like he, she, are also connected in some way to the EVAT Master company as well. Both listings will be up here on the page. Now, the last thing that is sort of a connector here is you're saying like, okay, that's all well, fine and good, Stephen, but what is this sort of smoking gun here, so to speak? And that is going to be the UKCA marking label. So what this is, I'm going to go ahead and just put a couple of screen grabs from the government website for the UK, and it basically tells you that it is the UK conformity assessed marking on products that conform to the UK or European Union marking standards to show that the product can be sold in the country. And that does include toys. That does include toys. And according to the government, it will continue on until 11 p.m. on the 31st of December, 2027. Okay, so that to me is clear and convincing. I got this from China. And this is UK distribution. Furthermore, let's make it very, very clear here. Now, I could not find a direct connection, right? I could not find this being a subsidiary of what I'm about to talk about. I couldn't find any of that. But we see here, let me just kind of put that in frame and perspective, right? So you see ZHENG, ZHOU, ZHENG, ZHOU. Now, are they the same? I don't know. But you have a company with significant delays, which stemmed from a company with significant delays and money issues. Am I saying Premium DNA lied? No. I believe that they're telling us best what they can tell us. But it is just interesting that, Chinese retailers are shipping out UK distribution stuff. Doesn't make sense to me, but what do I know? Thank you for watching. I'm actually going to do a proper review of these guys because these are really cool. I'm actually much more impressed with these in hand than I thought I would be. If you're looking to pick these up, there will be some links in the description, but what I will say is if quality control is your big concern one way or another, I would always recommend US retailers who have your back. BBTS does have them, at least up for pre-order, and they do have an exclusive, a Pantsed Gym, which, considering what they've done here, I do need to heat him up a little bit to get some stuff moving. I think I may actually look to get that. All right, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And again, I do like Premium DNA and their products. I just find this situation to be a bit weird, and I'm reporting this back to you all because knowledge is power, and as a consumer, if you pre-ordered these back when they went up and you're questioning why you don't have them now when other people do, well, do with this what you will. Thank you for watching. I'll catch you in the next video.